Hi everyone. So welcome to part 2 of my ranking ships video. Probably the last part. I do want to make a Percy Jackson version, but I couldn't find an already made tier list for that, so I'd have to make my own. And I don't really know how to do that, and I don't know if I have the time to do that, but if I do, that'll happen. This is going to be ranking Harry Potter ships, which very excited about. I also am very opinionated when it comes to these ones. I made a Hermione video this was like a couple videos ago. It was like Hermione versus Harry and Hermione. You can check that out if you want. But yeah, I mean, there's not much to say here. I'll explain the ships when I'll explain the ranking system when we get started, and we'll just get into it. Okay, so let's get started. Let's start with the ranking system. We have absolutely God tier, may have an obsession. You know, those select few ships that I am just obsessed with. They're that good. Either I am so happy that they're canon, or I really, really wish they were. And yeah, I've probably made a video on them or written a story about them, and it's all great. Next we have I love them, which is just like, yes, they're great. They have a special place in my heart, but they're not God tier. I like them, you know, pretty self-explanatory. I like the ships, I just don't love them, and I don't hate them. I'm just like, yeah, they're cute, but that's as far as it goes. No opinion, which is I think different from the last video. Those are just like, no opinion. Maybe I think they're okay, but really I've never thought about them, or I've thought about them and I've just been like, no, not really my thing. There's I don't like them, which is just like, nope, thought about it, don't like it, but I don't hate them per se. We have no, just strong kind of hate, very strong dislike of those ships. And I may vomit, which is reserved for those select few ships that are probably going to make everyone who thinks about them very uncomfortable, like kind of like universally hated. And I don't mean like it's like, I feel like universally hated would be like Hermione and Snape, which I think is an option in this one. So okay, it's gonna be a long day. Ready? I guess let's start. First up we have Ginny and Neville. Now I am gonna put Ginny and Neville in the I've actually never considered them before, so now I'm like, all right, do I have no opinion on them? But I feel like they go in the I like them category. Actually, I mean, like, I don't think they would work. I think their personalities are way too different, but they are good friends, right? They went to the Yule Ball together, and I think I don't see them ever actually dating, but if you think about it, like, if they did, it would be like, sure, that's cute, I guess. They're almost no opinion, but I kind of like the idea of them being together. Neville might have someone help him come out of his shell a little. Ginny would have someone who's really caring and understands how she feels, but yeah, I don't know, they might not be that compatible. Next we have, okay, sorry, I don't know movie characters that well. Is that Pansy Parkinson and Hermione Granger and Hermione? As if so, I'm gonna put them in the I like. Okay, no opinion, because I really like the fandom's version of Pansy Parkinson. You know, short hair, bangs, probably an iconic lesbian, but in the actual books or like canonly, she's kind of terrible. I mean, apparently her and Draco don't even stay friends, but if it was the fanon version, I do like them, but I'm gonna stick to no opinion just because I'm not really sure. Like, I feel like we need to know more about Pansy to really decide if I ship her and Hermione, but I do really like the idea of them. I feel like it'd be fun if Fancy got a redemption arc. I've seen some edits of them together. I think it'd be cute. But, you know, no opinion, just because I don't feel like we don't know enough about her. Next we have, Harry and Cedric. I like Harry, and actually I really love the idea of Harry and Cedric. I feel like or do I like them? Oh gosh, love. We'll stick to like. We might move it to love. I love the idea. I feel like 4th year Harry might have had a crush on Cedric without realizing it. Like the amount he would talk about him, and even though he was saying that it was because of Cho, you'd be like, wow, Cedric's just another pretty boy. Like he's very adamant that Cedric is good looking. So I'm just saying I think they would work. Cedric couldn't, like, they were good friends, right? Or at least they eventually were, and it was so sad when Cedric died. I swear it was it was like that. It was like the first real death in the series, and it hurt, like, of a good guy. And I was like, I don't know, man. I feel like they would work. I feel like it'd be kind of fun. You know, they're both Quidditch players. It'd be an intriguing pairing. So I'm putting them in like for now. Next we have Hermione and Crumb. I'm gonna say that I don't like that. I mean, I'm glad Crumb made Hermione happy and all that, but also if I'm getting the ages right here, Hermione was 14 in the Goblet of Fire and Crumb was 18, which it's like, okay, that's just a little out there. I'm not sure I'm a fan. But I mean, they had a fun relationship. They went to the Yule Ball together, and then they just sent messages back and forth. And I mean, I wasn't really that into that ship. I was like, it's just like, okay, sure. Hermione was never really into. It was kind of funny though, because how much she was like not into the Quidditch thing, and she was just like, no, I don't know why everyone's obsessed with Crumb, and then she ends up dating him. And also her being the thing that he was gonna miss the most was a little like speedy. It was like really that fast, but I guess she was the first person to really like see him as him. Like I feel like they had a fun thing. They benefited a little from each other, like learned some stuff from each other, I'm sure, but yeah, I wasn't ever really the biggest fan. Next we have Cedric and Cho. I really like Cedric and Cho. I don't quite love them, but we didn't get to see enough of their relationship. From what we saw, Cedric really liked Cho. She really liked him. They worked. They had a cute relationship, cute enough to make Harry jealous. And yeah, they seem so supportive of one another. I really, really felt for Cho after Cedric died. Like, it's no way that's easy to lose someone in that way. And man, they deserved better. If Cedric hadn't died, I would have loved for him and Cho to really like get together, develop their relationship further, especially because I don't think Cho and Harry were ever that compatible. Like Cho is always, I'm sure she was an emotional person before, she just wasn't as open with it before Cedric died. So yeah, I think Cedric and Cho are really compatible. Cedric seems like a very caring person. I think Cho being an emotional person, I think they were really good for each other, and they would have been too if Cedric hadn't died. Why did he die? Okay, what's next? We have Pansy, Parkinson, and Blaze. Is that them? Yeah, I'm putting those in no. I've literally never considered them. Listen, I'd love to. I feel like we just don't know enough about those two characters to ship them. Like, I feel like if one character is more unknown but the other one we know more about, it's easier to ship them. But like, these two are both minor characters that barely show up, and I'm sure they were friends, so I'm sure it might work. But yeah, like, I genuinely I don't have an opinion. I've never considered them before. Next we have Draco and Blaze. Yeah, that's another a no opinion. And in this case, Blaze. We know more about Draco, but Draco and Blaze, I mean, actually, that would be... Wait, is that Goy? I don't know who these characters... I don't know who these characters are, because I feel like some characters got recast, right? Like, I think either Crab or one of them got recast, and I remember in the last movie, I did not know what was going on. Okay, let's be real here. So I think if that's Draco and Blaze, then I like them. But if it's Draco and Crab or something, then I don't. I don't know. Okay, let's pretend it's Draco and Blaze and put them in the I like them category, because that sounds like a fun thing. I mean, I don't know enough about Blaze, but I think Draco and him were friends, so sure. Why not? Ooh. Hermione and Ginny. I like the idea of that. I think they might pull a fun opposites attract. You know, Ginny's a very outgoing Quidditch player, stuff like that, where Hermione's more into her books and research, but they're both very like assertive, like people like they speak out when they feel like something's wrong and all that. And yeah, they were good friends in the show, and while I feel like they probably see each other more as sisters, I think the idea of their relationship is quite cute, and I mean, I'm sure it would, I mean, as long as Ginny was completely over her crush on Harry, I'm sure it would work. I mean, sure. Listen, oh, Oliver and Percy, that, my friends, is the peak level opposites attract. I love the idea of them. Should I say I love them? Do I know enough about them to say I love them? Yeah, I do. Because I think it came from the fact that those two shared a dorm together when they were at school, because they were the same year or something like that. I think that was like canon that they shared a dorm together, and because Oliver's like absolutely, both are on opposite ends of like of the spectrum when it comes to interest, but they're both so obsessed with their interests that it would be so funny to see them interact. Why is my voice so shaky? Like, I constantly look like I'm on the verge of tears. But yeah, I mean, like, Oliver is like Quidditch. Like, he lives, breathes, eats Quidditch. He tried to drown himself after his team lost a Quidditch match in like the 3rd book. And Percy is so obsessed with his rules and ministry work and all of that. And while they might clash at first, I think if we're talking like post-redemption Percy, like once he becomes like not an asshole, then like it would probably work out. It'd be really fun. I think the two of them, they might not understand each other's passions, but I think they'd be supportive of them because they see how much they love them, and all of it is just yes, like yes, yes, yes. I think a part of me just thinks it'd be so funny to see them interact, but like I can see the relationship, sure. The nice version of Percy, then yeah. Next we have Lavender and Seamus? We've been over this. I don't know how to pronounce names. No opinion. I've literally never considered that shit before, and I think that comes from Lavender and him going to the Yule Ball together, I believe. So, I mean, I guess if they enjoyed themselves, that'd be cool, but I'm a very big Seamus and Dean shipper, so yeah, that's never crossed my mind before. I don't think it ever will again. Truly no opinion. Next we have... Wait, I literally can't see who that is. Is that McGonagall and Dumbledore? Okay, yeah, I'm sure the cropping is a little messed up. We're gonna say I don't like them. I think McGonagall and Dumbledore have more of like a... I don't know if I would call it a sibling relationship, but I just don't think there was ever any romantic feelings there. Also, McGonagall deserves better. Dumbledore is crazy manipulative and not a great person. So, there's that. Also, yeah, I just think that they were teacher and headmaster, and obviously McGonagall was very loyal to Dumbledore, but I don't think that was ever anything more than her being a loyal friend and teacher, as opposed to like anything like love related. Yeah, no. Oh my god, I just oh gosh, I just saw the next picture. So we have an I may vomit category for a reason. I should probably change it to I will vomit. Next, we have, if I am looking at this right, which I really hope I'm not, Snape and Harry. So we're gonna put that in the I may vomit category and never consider it again. Now, do you want a list of reasons on why I don't ship that? I don't think you do. The age difference already makes it terrible. Snape absolutely hates Harry's existence. He's actually had a crush on his mother, which is, that makes that so much worse, even though it's already terrible. Snape was he's a teacher. He's basically an old man. Harry's a teenager. I am pretending like I feel like that's a joke. I'm pretending like that's a joke. Ginny and Draco, no. They wouldn't work. They don't like each other at all, and I think Ginny herself is a very stubborn person. I think even if Draco got his redemption arc, I don't think she'd ever even if she eventually came around to like being like even just civil with him, I don't think they would ever get to the relationship aspect. Do they have anything in common? Not really. Draco was mean to her. There's kind of a theme here. And yeah, I guess it's just Draco is a hard person to ship with people because that man, I feel like he should have gotten a redemption arc. Is that my next? I should just make a video on, actually I'm sure people have made videos on why Draco doesn't deserve a redemption arc, and I don't know if my points would be good enough to counter that, but I feel like he did, and that might be a video I make. Will that be a great video? Probably not. Okay, if you want to see that, let me know. I might just make it anyways, but yeah. No. That's Hagrid and I think her name is Olympus, the giant. They're both giants. I think the lady is the headmistress of Beauxbatons, the school where Fleur is from. So I'm gonna go with I like them. Actually, yeah, I mean I have no opinion. Like I was glad to see Hagrid happy and all that, but yeah, I never really considered their relationship or formed an opinion on it. It was just like something that it was just there after the fourth book. And is it ever mentioned again? I don't know. Like I think she's mentioned in the 5th book after Hagrid mentions that they went to go find giants, but yeah, after that I don't know if she ever shows up, and if she does, it's not really important. I don't know, man. I've never had an opinion on them. That's all I got to say. Ooh, we have Narcissa and Lucius. Now, they ship, if I'm putting my personal feelings aside, because I don't like Lucius Malfoy. He is a terrible person, and while he cared about his son, he was also a Death Eater and raised his son to be a Death Eater despite knowing the dangers that came with, and despite knowing the stuff Voldemort was capable of. That said, Narcissa, on the other hand, while she supported her husband, she was a very loving mother. She only wanted the best for Draco, and she basically saved Harry's life when she basically assumed that, when she told Voldemort that he had died when he hadn't. When it comes to their relationship, I guess what I'm saying is, while I don't love the characters, the relationship is, I guess, a good one. Like, they're supportive of one another. Though I guess a better relationship would be Narcissa wanting Lucius to leave the Death Eaters because that would be what's best for their family. But despite all that, she's a supportive person. You know, they care about Draco. I think the thought that Draco comes from an abusive household. I don't think they were ever that. I just think they raised him to be Death Eater, which is wrong. But I also don't think Narcissa wanted him to be Death Eater. Hence why Draco had to sneak around and all that, and why Narcissa wanted Snape to do what Draco had to when it came to killing Dumbledore. But yeah, I mean, I guess they have a supportive relationship even though they're both kind of evil people. So, Oh, I just saw the next one. Is that Remus and Sirius? Oh god, our first god tier ship. Our first god tier ship. Very happy about that. I am excited about this. I love Remus and Sirius. Also, I know Remus and Sirius aren't like technically canon, but they are canon and you can change my mind. They dated when they went to Hogwarts and afterwards until Sirius went to Azkaban, and then they rekindled their relationship when he got out, and you are not changing my mind there. Thank you. They are so cute. I just love the thought of Hogwarts them. I think they'd be such a cute couple. I feel like Sirius would be like so clingy and it'd be fun. And I feel like they would avoid their feelings for each other for so long. There's so many headcanons I have there, like how they had to rebuild their relationship after Sirius tried to send Snape down to Remus when he was a werewolf, and like how they had to rebuild their trust after that. All that. There's so much angst and fluff and love there. Wolfstar is just one of my favorite ships in the series. I know they dated, and I just know that they were so cute when they did. And if we were to ever get a Mordor series, they better include that. You know, like, I feel like it's one of those ships that's just like universally considered canon, because even if you ship Remus and Tonks, that happened after Sirius died, so it's still a possibility that Remus just found love again, and why he was so hesitant at first. But oh my god, I just love Remus and Sirius so much. Okay, next we have Harry and Hermione. Please stop doing that, laptop. Harry and Hermione. No, well, first of all, Harry canonically says that he sees Hermione as his sister, so that makes things a little complicated. I also just never saw them. I think they were both each other's like siblings, and they were very protective of each other. Like Harry found a sister in Hermione, Hermione found a sister and brother, especially since they both grew up only childs, you know. Ron had like 6 siblings, but they were both only children, and I think their relationship just proves that two people, like a guy and a girl, can just be friends and have that sibling relationship without there being romance there, despite what the movies tried to push. That one dance scene is like, Also this scene, I don't think this scene does not happen in the books. That in the books, it's like after Harry faces the dragons, both Hermione and Ron come in to see him, and that's when like Ron apologizes to Harry and all that. So yeah, I don't like Harry and Hermione. I've never seen them. I mean, I remember before I had ever seen the movie or watched the book, I was like, sure, Harry and Hermione, because they were the only 2 characters I knew. But once I read and watched them, I was like, no, I don't see it. I don't think they would work. I just think they're a sibling relationship, and I like that about them. Next we have, oh, okay, that would be Geralt Grindelwald and Dumbledore. No. Well, I'm not saying, I don't like Dumbledore that much. Geralt Grindelwald was a dark wizard, and while I'm sure Geralt Grindelwald was always a bad person, and I know Dumbledore was possibly blinded by love when he wanted to support Grindelwald's ideas. It just doesn't feel like a healthy relationship, quite toxic. I think in the books they mentioned that they were only friends for like a month or 2 before they had to do their big fight. That Fantastic Beasts, I'm assuming, is gonna show. I don't know, I'm not really watching that movie series anymore, but it's almost just like, yeah, that relationship probably wasn't that great, especially when you consider what kind of person Geralt Grindelwald is. Next we have Pansy and Draco. I like the idea of them. If Draco was more attentive boyfriend, because what we saw of them in the books wasn't great. It was mostly Pansy just being like, oh my god, Draco, Draco, and Draco just being like, eh. I think he just liked the attention. That's not important. If they were both sort of healthy and if they both got like redemption arcs, I think they'd be good to have each other there, like two people who can only really understand each other because of the way they were raised and grew up. And if they needed, if they needed to go through a redemption arc, I think they'd be perfect for each other. And yeah, I think they'd be fun. And hey, they might be an iconic couple. Sorry. So, you ever just run out of things to say and then you just kind of start repeating things. You're just like, yeah, and iconic, sure. Yeah, that's basically me right now. Now we have, Lily and Snape. Oy, ay, ay. Okay, I want to put it in the I may vomit category. I know, okay, fine, I'll put it in the no category because I reserved I may vomit for like incest and terrible like age differences, oh gosh, kind of stuff. So I absolutely hate the idea of Lily and Snape for many reasons. One, Lily never reciprocated her feelings for Snape, though canonly Snape liked Lily. Lily never saw Snape as more than a friend. Snape called Lily a slur, then was confused as to why she didn't want to speak to him anymore, and he then decided to go join the Death Eaters, who wanted Lily and her kind dead because she was a Muggle-born. And then then he told Voldemort about a prophecy that in the end got Lily and James killed. And when he realized that Voldemort wanted to kill Lily's child, he only wanted Lily to be saved. He did not care about James or Harry. He did not care about the family she had created for herself. It was only after Dumbledore called him out on it that he was like, fine, save all of them. He then proceeded to rip a photo that consisted of Lily, James, and Harry, and he stole the part of Lily where she was smiling with her family and took it for himself. He basically ripped up Lily's family because of his own selfish reasons, and that was a relationship that's never gonna work. This scene in the movie, he's literally hugging her dead corpse. I get it, he was sad. This was his doing. He joined the wizard. I mean, he didn't kill her, but like he joined the Death Eaters, and that led to him discovering the prophecy, which he told Voldemort about. Then Voldemort went to Lily. She was obviously not gonna get out of the way and let him kill her child, and then she died. And like, gosh, I don't like that ship. Next, we have, Lupin and Tonks. I like Lupin and Tonks, but I don't love them. I don't like how that relationship is portrayed. I don't like how it felt like Tonks had to force Lupin to love her when I know that wasn't the case. Like, I'm sure Lupin genuinely cared for her, and I don't like how it kind of messed with Tonks' character, how she was always sad and upset and all that. Like, I feel like they had a great relationship. I just think they were showed well enough, and like they had a kid together. Like, I just feel like we should have seen more positives from that relationship instead of what we got. But I do like the idea of them. I like the idea of Remus finding love again after Sirius, and I think that they were cute, and that's all. Teddy's great. Love Teddy. So, yay. Next we have the Longbottoms, Alice and Fred. I like them. I mean, we don't know enough about them, but from what we've heard, they seem like very supportive parents. I'm sure they loved Neville very, very much until they were tortured by Bellatrix and sort of lost their memories. And yeah, I mean, we don't know all about them, but from what we do know, I'm sure they were a great couple. Next we have Neville and Luna. I'm putting Neville and Luna in the I like them category. Well, I don't think they would work long term because I think Neville is a more like grounded, homebody kind of person, whereas Luna seems to be more adventurous and she wants to go out, find things that may not even exist, and maybe they do, you know? Can't prove it either way, unless she does prove that a lot. I feel like some of the stuff she mentions might actually exist, but that's besides the point. I think they're great friends, and I can see them possibly sort of stepping up to a relationship, but I also feel like that might not be long term, and they might just realize that they work better as friends. But either way, it's an intriguing pairing, and like to see them work. They're very supportive of each other, so yeah, I mean, they were both kind of outcasts at first. Like, Neville was never really great at magic at first because he lacked confidence, where Luna was always sort of outcast because of the things she believed in and how she was sort of seen as out there because like she believed in like nargles and whatnot. So yeah, I think the fact that why do I keep making that noise? I'm sorry if that bothers you, but yeah, I mean the fact that the movie set them up was kind of intriguing to me, and I was surprised to see that that wasn't canon in the books. But yeah, that's all I got for you. I think they'd be cute. Harry and Cho, don't like them. They're not compatible. Harry needs someone. Harry, like, okay, and this isn't a knock on Harry, but Harry doesn't deal with emotional people that well, and that's not that bad. Like, I don't know what to do when someone's emotional around me either, but that's why I don't think him and Cho would work. She's a very open and emotional person, and she needs someone more like Cedric who would be able to understand that and help her through it, as opposed to Harry, who needs someone more like Ginny, I guess, who also kind of deals with emotions in a similar way to Harry, where like she isn't super like vocalized about them. Like, she's vocalized when she's angry or like upset with something or happy about something, but I guess I'm talking more about just like Cho's sadness with Cedric. Harry really hid that away kind of, and then it kind of came out in outbursts throughout the fifth book, whereas Cho was just like openly crying about it more often. And yeah, I just think they lack compatibility. Like, they would probably work if they were both in like really good places in their life, like when Cho and him were just Quidditch stars and having fun, but I don't think when you get down to like the serious parts of a relationship they would work. Next we have Draco, and I don't know her name, but I'm assuming that's his wife, and sure, we don't know anything about them unless you count the cursed child, which I don't, but if it made Draco happy and it made Draco a better person, then I'm okay with it. From what I've read about his wife, she was someone who like, she was a pure blood, but she didn't believe in like pure blood supremacy, and that she raised her kids to see Muggleborns as equals, which I think is important. And I'm glad Draco grew, right? Like, if he married someone like that, I'm assuming he also grew out of his beliefs and sort of started to see that he wasn't superior to anyone just because of the kind of blood he had, you know? I think it's great. Now we have Luna and Draco. Now, this might surprise some people, but okay, I'm thinking of this from this one headcanon I saw once, that Luna was the first person to accept Draco when he started to become a better person, and that led to them having at least a type of friendship where Draco genuinely cared about Luna and wouldn't let anyone talk bad about her, and that she was accepting of him, and she brought him along to her friend gatherings even if it was so awkward because she wanted him to be included. And if I'm going off of that headcanon, like redemption arc Draco sort of having Luna be the first person who includes him back in and who he opens up to, then I like them. As long as Draco isn't mean, because Draco can kind of be a terrible person sometimes, but maybe Luna will be the first person that he isn't terrible to. God, that's a terrible way to put it, but yeah, it's something that's just that one headcanon that is in my head when I think about these two. But other than that, if you're looking at canon them, probably not. I can't see who that is. That looks like Neville, but I don't know who's beside him, so I'm gonna have to put that in no opinion because I can't see. If anyone knows what it is, let me know, and then I'll tell you what category I would put them in. Next we have Oh, great. Harry and Draco. Now, backstory. I used to hate the idea of Harry and Draco getting together. I used to be like, no, it's terrible. I don't know why people ship it. Now, I am fully on the Draco and Harry train. I am the goddamn conductor of this thing. I am trying to get people. I'm trying to convert my friends. I'm like, hey, I sent my friend like 11 Draco and Harry posts once just to be like, please ship them. I want someone to rant. I want to be able to rant to you about them. So like, here, look how cute. It'd be so funny. Redemption arc Draco and Harry getting together, because let me be very clear here, Harry had a crush on Draco 6th year. That man was so obsessed with Draco. Even Ron noticed. Even Ron was like, May, you're kind of obsessed with Draco at the moment. Like, man, if Ron is noticing stuff, I'm just saying, Ron can be very oblivious to things. More so, well, not more so than Harry. No one's more oblivious than Harry, but like, man, come on, Harry. You and Draco, it'd be so funny. They'd always be so sarcastic and like snide comments at each other, but they're so in love, and oh my gosh. I kind of see it as like if they went back to Hogwarts with Hermione. They're like technically 8th year because their 7th year didn't really count. Then like, oh my god, that'd be so funny. It would work probably. Yeah, I don't know if I feel like I need to like really write down, like I don't really off the top of my head have many reasons to ship them, but I just do, because man, their dynamic would be pretty great. I feel like they'd also help each other heal and help each other just be better, and maybe they could open up to each other more, because they're both quite closed off people, so maybe them together, they won't feel pressured to open up, and that might sort of inadvertently help them open up, you know? Does that make sense? I love them. Now, we have Ginny and Luna. Absolutely got tier. Absolutely got tier. I would put Draco and Harry in absolutely got tier, but I don't know. I want to, but I also am just, because of all the fact that Draco needs a redemption arc, whereas Luna and Ginny work perfectly in canon, and I love them together. They were best friends. Ginny was always standing up to Luna, and Luna absolutely loved Ginny, and you know, they'd give me, I saw this one headcanon about like jock Ginny and like her pastel girlfriend Luna, and I love it. They have, their vibes are very, like their like interest vibes are very different, but they also feel like they would mesh really well. And I feel like I can just see Luna commentating a Quidditch match that Ginny's in, and her just talking about Ginny the entire time. And it would be so cute. And yeah, they were very supportive of one another, great friends, and I genuinely think they would work as a couple. And you know, maybe they did. Listen, you don't have to listen to canon if you don't want to. I mean, it's just canon. Like, the canon thing is there to tell you what's happened, but if you don't like that, just write your own thing. I don't know. That's the fun part about stories, isn't it? Like, once they're out there, they're in your hands, and you can do stuff with them. Next we have, is that, okay, I think this is Dean and Seamus, and they're going in my God tier category, or I love them. Actually, they're going in my I love them category, just because I think, okay, fine, I'll put them in God tier, just because I really like them, and I'm pretty sure they were dating the whole time, and Drake and Harry just didn't notice because he's oblivious, and maybe they took a break after Seamus didn't believe Harry when he talked about Voldemort, and then Dean dated Ginny for a bit, but after that they got back together, and obviously they were cute and grew old together and were amazing, and I love the thought of them. So yeah, sorry, someone's just in the kitchen right now, so you'll probably hear a few things, but you know, I'm so professional as a YouTuber, can you tell? Next we have, see, I can't tell if that's Fred and Angelina or George and Angelina, but other than that, I like them. I never felt super strongly about them because we rarely saw any of their relationship, if any. I mean, they just went to the Yule Ball together. But hey, I feel like they'd pull fun pranks together. He seems like if it's either Fred or George, they'd be planning pranks. They'd be super adorable and super in love, and they'd just be the fun boyfriend, and I love that. And Angelina is so talented. Like, wow, we love her. The Quidditch captain. Okay, sorry, I'm quite obsessed. And yeah, next we have Harry and Ron. I'm gonna put them in the I don't like them category just because I see them more as brothers. I'm just like, they're very bros. They're just like Harry, Ron basically adopted Harry into his own family. And, Molly is basically Harry's mom at this point. And Arthur, his dad, all his siblings, Ginny's like his wife in canon. So yeah, I just see them more as a brotherly relationship. But I can also see why people would see them as like a best friends to lovers thing. And I don't hate that. I just don't really like it. And it's not really my thing. Next we have Harry and Parvati, I think. No opinion. Also, I don't like them because Harry he didn't even dance with her during the Yule Ball. Like, yeah, he wasn't a great date. Parvati probably deserved better, and I'm glad she found that dude to dance with during the ball. But yeah, I mean, they went together. Nothing ever came of it. So there's that. Don't really like them. I don't think they worked. And we move on to Harry and Ginny. I do love Harry and Ginny together. I kind of hate the way they set them up in the book. Harry and Ginny, like in the books, the whole like Harry's animal in my chest and how he wants to rip Dean limb from limb, all of that stuff kind of made me uncomfortable. But other than that, they have a very supportive relationship. I think the fact that Ginny makes Harry genuinely happy is so important. Like, the few weeks they were together in 6th year were like the happiest of Harry's life, and that said a lot about their relationship and how like good it is for the both of them, and how supportive they are, and how they kind of both have like this one connection about like how they've had to deal with Voldemort. Sort of, it feels like Voldemort was in their head, right? Like how Ginny was possessed by Voldemort's 2nd year, how Harry's always had to deal with Voldemort being a part of his life. And I think they'd be supportive of each other, and how I mentioned before, they both deal with emotions similarly, so I think they're compatible in that area too. Yeah, I like them. They're just not quite God tier for me, because especially the movies really messed them up. Wow. The way they started off their relationship by simply having like Ginny kneel down near Harry's leg and just be like, shoelace? No, don't do that. No, please. Next we have Ron and Hermione. Y'all, I mean, I mentioned this at the beginning of the video. I have a whole video dedicated to Ron and Hermione. I love these two. I love a good best friends to lovers relationship. I hated how oblivious they were the whole time, but they're so supportive of each other. Ron cares so much about Hermione, and Hermione cares so much about Ron. The fact that Ron was literally willing to begged Bellatrix to torture him instead of Hermione, and I was like, that's literally true love. Like where else are you gonna find something like that? I think it was really cute. I love that their relationship was an instant, that it was built up, and that they were best friends for 7 years before they got together. And yeah, sorry if you've heard a lot of background noises the past few minutes, but yeah, they're just, you'd have to watch my video because I kind of can't think of stuff off the top of my head, but they're really cute. I love that scene in the movie when they kissed after the basilisk. I remember texting my friend being like, yo, they finally kissed, because we had been shipping them for so many movies, and when they did it, we were like, yes, finally, you guys are so oblivious to each other. Next we have Lavender and Ron. I don't like them. I don't think Ron was a great boyfriend to Lavender, and I don't think that's necessary. It's kind of his fault. He liked Lavender at first, but he also kind of dated her because he thought Hermione didn't like him, and I guess he thought that he got what's on. I'm sure he did like Lavender. I don't know if he would have said yes otherwise, but it's definitely one of those things where it's like, yeah, Lavender probably deserves someone who truly cared about her, and the fact that Ron wanted to break up with her but just didn't have the courage, like, damn, dude, just let her go. Move on to Hermione. We know you're in love with her, and let Lavender find someone who truly cares about her. So there were just two people who just got together at the wrong time and were never really gonna work. They were just two kids who didn't really know how love worked, and you know, happens. Next we have Luna and Hermione. I'm gonna say I don't like these two just because I don't think that their differences would help them. Like how sometimes opposite attract helps people see different perspectives, different things, different interests. Hermione was just kind of cruel to Luna, and Hermione's, okay, I love Hermione, but she's not a very open-minded person, right? Like, she sees things as very straightforward, like you have to see it to believe it kind of thing. And while Luna is kind of the opposite, she'll believe, I mean, if there's a possibility something exists, then hey, why can't it exist? Like, it probably does. So I don't think they would ever fully see eye to eye. Like, I'm sure Luna and her became better friends, and I'm sure I hope Hermione apologized for some of the stuff she said and did. But yeah, they're not people I think I can see going to a relationship just because of how differently they view the world. Next we have Luna and Harry. I like them. I think, oh, down here. I think my I like them category is really piling on now, but I don't, actually, do I love them? I kind of see them more as friends, but I also really think it's great for Luna that Harry was so willing to accept her, and I think Harry needed someone like Luna around. Like, she was just so straightforward, just like, she tells it like it is, and she was, I think, something that Harry needed to sort of keep him grounded, but also how she just believed in things that he couldn't see. I don't know, there was such an interesting dynamic there, and I loved their friendship. And I could definitely see it going into a relationship if that's what they both wanted, but I also think Harry might want more of a sense of normalcy in his life after everything that's happened, whereas Luna would want to be more going places, trying to discover Nargles and all that. So yeah, similar to Neville and Luna, there might be a difference in like goals for the future. Lily and James. I love Lily and James. Why aren't they they're my got to category now? Is my got to category getting too big? Who cares? It's my category. I'm quite obsessed with the two of them. I do love a good friends to lovers. I'm glad they only got together after James matured and became a better person, just because I remember I used to hate their relationship because I think I was hyper focused on how entitled James used to be. But I'm glad, I mean, he was also a good person. I think people hyper focus on the bad things James did when ignoring the fact that, like, he literally became an illegal animagus for his best friend. He took in one of his other best friends when they were leaving an abusive household. Like, he was a really good person. He was just also very arrogant, entitled, and kind of a jerk. But the fact that they got together after he became a better person makes me quite happy. I think they were really cute together, and I'm sure I would love to see a story of what happened when Lily, like, finally said yes to him asking her out, and I want to know how that went. Maybe she asked him out. That'd be kind of funny. Big fan. Next we have Dean and Ginny. I'm gonna say I don't really have an opinion on them. I mean, they're cute, but they're not really relationship we see a lot of. I just don't think they were compatible. I think Ginny just needed someone who viewed her more, who kind of just saw her more at her level, and Dean and Seamus are obviously just my endgame, so yeah, don't have much to say there. Ooh, we have Neville and Hannah Aboot, I think is the person he ends up marrying. I like those two. We don't know enough about Hannah Aboot. Yeah, we don't know enough about her. I think she liked herbology, so there's something they have in common. And I'm sure they were really cute and in love. Parvati, not Parvati, that would be what Padma and Ron are in the I don't like them category. Again, Ron was a terrible date. Like, I love Ron, but my god, he wouldn't dance with her, barely acknowledge her existence, and him and Harry really just spent the whole Yule Ball moping when they had amazing dates that they could have gone with, but no, they were both in love with other people. But man, Padma, they both just were not meant for each other. Padma deserved someone who actually cared about her. Ron was in love with someone else. Hermione. Ooh, what did I mean? Ron and Luna, I quite like the idea of, especially after Ron sort of opened up to Luna, and I kind of love how much he started to love the random stuff she would do and give him. I think Luna definitely had a bit of a crush on Ron. I don't know if Ron ever reciprocated because he was preoccupied with one bushy-haired girl, but they had potential, especially after Ron stopped being a jerk about her, the things she said and did. So yeah, I guess it's similar to Harry and Luna. I just think Ron and Hermione work better. Oh gosh. You ever just see a ship that makes you go, I hate it here. I hate it here. Hermione and Snape? I hate it here. Isn't it funny that the two most bottom ships involve Snape? Not a coincidence. I'm not even going to acknowledge that ship's existence. Like, I'm disgusted. But I would have, I feel like I'm going to overdo it if I pretend to just, I want to walk out. I'm just I'm done here. Fleur and Bill, I love Fleur and Bill together. Shell Cottage seems like such a vibe and such a fun place to be. And I'm excited. I love Fleur and Bill. I love how they stuck to their love. I love how Fleur didn't let I don't like how Ginny and Hermione and Molly treated Fleur at all. Like, they were so cruel to her for no reason. And I'm glad she stuck by it, and I love how pure their love is. Like, even after Bill was mauled by a werewolf, she was like, nah, that's my husband, and I'm sticking with him no matter what, and I love him the exact same. And I think that's beautiful. And I love it, and I love them. And I want to stay at Shell Cottage, so if they want to invite me, I'd be down. I have no idea who that is. That could be Blaise and Ron, that could be Dean and Ron, I don't know. Because that's their actors, that's not from the movie. Is that Fred and Hermione? Or George and Hermione? No, I don't think they would ever work. I think they had a fun, brother-sister relationship, but Hermione was always, calling them out and being like, damn, you can't do pranks, you can't do all this stuff, and Fred was just Fred and George were always just come on, Hermione, let us have fun. And while she was definitely more open to it near the end of their school years, I just think they work better as a brother and sister relationship. We have Molly and Arthur. I do love these two, just a pure relationship. Basically Harry's de facto parents. We don't acknowledge Vernon and Petunia in this house, so they're basically, I love how they basically just adopted Harry. They're you're ours now, and they're cute, they're in love. I love how they're childhood sweethearts. Just a pure relationship. And finally, we have Crumb and Hermione. Oh my god, I can't see. Is that Draco and Hermione? Oh my god, that's Draco and Hermione, isn't it? Literally, who else could that be? I can't see. Okay, I see the white hair. Well, I guess all of you were probably I feel like if anyone's watching this video, they're probably yelling at me the whole time I was saying that was Crumb and Hermione. That's Draco and Hermione. Let's make the one thing very clear. I don't like Draco and Hermione. Draco called Hermione many slurs and treated her as less than human and was absolutely cruel to her. They never had a positive interaction once. Hermione wasn't obsessed with Draco the way Harry was like always looking out for him. Like Hermione just did not like that man. He did not like her. And I think the most they would ever get to is like a civil relationship where they might talk once in a while if Draco got his redemption arc. And if he apologized profusely for all the things he said to her. But I do not like them together. Toxic doesn't work. I just don't know if Draco could. Also, I don't think would Draco ever get to the point where he'd be willing to date a Muggle-born, like even if he changed his beliefs? I mean, I guess that really proved that he has changed, but yeah. Some things you can't get back from, and the fact that he like actually wanted her to die at some points was just like a little out there. And then we have I don't like them for Crumb and Hermione, and I've already told you why I don't like them before when I thought that we were talking about Crumb and Hermione and not Draco and Hermione. I don't quite understand Draco and Hermione. Like, I don't know where that comes from. But anyways, this is my final list. Take a good look because we're done here. I hope you guys enjoyed that, and yeah, it's a very long video. We're really back on that like hour-long video grind. But if you have any other video ideas, if you'd like to see a Percy Jackson tier list, do let me know. And yeah, don't forget to comment, subscribe, let me know what your favorite Harry Potter ship is, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.